Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. I'm Judy Simpson. As part of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we're in the kitchen today to discuss and demonstrate the importance of food and nutrition during cancer treatment and recovery. In just a moment, I'll be visiting with a professional chef whose wife is a breast cancer survivor. As a result of his wife's cancer, he developed pink ribbon cooking, and he'll be with us to demonstrate a series of recipes that are balanced and healthy and yet simple to make. My first guest, however, is a registered dietitian, clinical dietitian with the Cancer Patient Support Program. The program offers free supportive services to cancer patients throughout Vermont and upstate New York. It is a pleasure to welcome Jennifer May. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So what role does food and nutrition play in recovery?
Absolutely. First and foremost, food is fuel or energy,
right,
which is important for optimal tolerance of treatment and beyond. Protein is also important. It plays an important role for growth and repair of cells. So with chemotherapy, we're breaking down cells, both good and bad, and for growth and repair of those good cells like blood cells, protein's important. Radiation, there's skin breakdown. So for growth and repair of those skin cells, protein comes into play. And then after surgery for wound healing, protein's also important. And then lastly, too, food can provide us with vitamins, minerals, and phytonutrients, which help keep our bodies healthy and boost our immune systems.
What are some of the questions that you get from cancer patients and their families?
One of the most common questions I get is if there are any special diets to go on during or after treatment. And there really isn't any one specific diet that's ideal for everyone. But what I do tell people is the better fuel you put in your body, the better you're going to feel. And so I do encourage as a healthy base, a plant-based diet. So fruits, vegetables, whole grains, nuts, beans, seeds, and legumes. And then we're going to adjust for lifestyle, for food preferences. You have to also take into consideration any special dietary needs. And then symptom control during treatment as well.
So what's the most important tip that you can pass along to folks?
The most important tip, I would say, is to know your sources and find reputable resources. There's a lot of information out there, and it can be very confusing and overwhelming to try to wade through it all. So some of my go-to sources, American Cancer Society, wonderful resource, the American Institute for Cancer Research. They have a whole bunch of wonderful pamphlets that they print out, and they also have a great website, aicr.org. And then, of course, meeting with a registered dietitian if you have questions. And then as well, for some wonderful, healthy, delicious food, there's also Curtis Hem, too, as a reputable resource, too, and the pink ribbon cooking.
Well, thank you so much, Jennifer. I want to thank you for being with us. I also want to point out to our viewers you can get more information about the Cancer Patient Support Program by visiting their website. That is cpspvt.org. That's cpspvt.org. Well, joining me now is the professional chef that I mentioned at the beginning of the program. Of course, his name is Curtis Hem. He is the former Dean of Culinary Arts and Director of Online Programs at the New England Culinary Institute. He's also a very good friend. It's wonderful to see you again.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, tell me a little bit about how you began this program, because it's really been kind of an odyssey for you.
It is. It's been a long journey. It's been 7 years in the starting, and it had its origins in Bridget's chemotherapy.
Your wife's cancer.
Yep. So she's now a 7-year survivor, and yesterday was our anniversary, so happy belated anniversary, because I didn't say it last night when I should have. But one of the things that we focus on is what I can do to help Bridget, because as a husband, what you want to do is you want to defend against all these things that harm your wife and your family. And it really became evident to me that this isn't my battle. This is her cancer, it's her fight, but there are things that I can do to help her along the way. Diet, change of cooking, the protein that Jennifer just mentioned was critical for us. The egg drop soup that we're going to do today is packed with protein. The Greek yogurt salad dressing we're going to do packed with protein, because it does. It's the foundation of our bodies, and it's what we use to repair our good cells that we want to have again.
All right, well, so you're going to demonstrate some of your recipes that you have.
We are. The first one we're going to do, I'm going to start off with, is I'm going to get some ribeye steaks going. I have a recipe in the both the app and the e-cookbook that calls for a skirt steak, but of course it's, you know, when you want skirt steak, you can't find it. So this is for my friends at Vermont Highland Cattle. This is 100% grass-fed Highland cattle. This is excellent beef, and this is something that the whole family can enjoy. It's super good beef. It's got a great ratio of omega-3 and omega-6, so it's incredibly healthy for you. And it's one of those things that it's beef and it feels good to eat it. So we're going to do a little grilled version of that.
All right.
And what I chose here was the ribeye, and what I did was I cut them a little bit thicker than I normally would. Because it's grass-fed, it's leaner. And what you want to do is you want to be very careful not to overcook this. So I'm going to go for medium rare. That's why I left it so thick. We're just going to take a little bit of olive oil and kind of massage those around a little bit.
Okay.
And then we're going to come right over here. And I didn't salt. I like to top salt the grass-fed beef. I don't like to salt it because it pulls moisture out.
Right.
So we have a preheated pan, and what we're going for is really good caramelization from that beef. And that's essential that if you start putting salt on, it pulls the moisture out, and then it just winds up steaming. So,
and so,
get rid of this.
You know, you've been cooking for your wife, obviously, but you wanted to expand on that. You wanted to help other people as well.
I did, and we actually, I mean, what Pink Ribbon Cooking is now is it's a lot of different things. It's 3 different products. We have our iPad app, because I love technology, and I think we're moving towards a digital society.
Right.
So we have an iPad app that's specifically engineered for all the functionality of an iPad. It's got touch zoom, it's shareable, things like that. We also have an e-cookbook, which is designed really for a desktop, laptop computer, but it works on all devices. It's on my iPhone, it's on everything. And it's great because if you want to go in the kitchen and cook a recipe, it's there
right
with
there.
you. And then we have the membership website, which is a monthly subscription membership, basically. And there's about 20 new recipes, 10 new videos. We have a full online cooking school because I love technology and I love teaching people how to cook. And I found that a lot of people that are in this situation, they don't know how to cook healthy. They know how to cook their mom's recipes.
Right.
A lot of times the spouse, the partner, they don't know how to cook. Somebody's been doing these responsibilities. And I was fortunate. You know, I did my own cooking, my own laundry. So I didn't have to face those battles.
But these are easy recipes, too. That's
they're all simple. And they're not, I'm in a chef coat because that's how people know me, as Chef Curtis. But I guarantee anybody can cook these. Alec is famous for cooking some of these.
Your son, yeah, he's wonderful.
He loves to cook them. So with the steaks, one of the things you want to do, this is going to take about 8 minutes. I'm not going to touch these steaks at all. I'm going to let them go until they start to sweat and perspire up on the top side. They'll have little beads of moisture. That'll tell me that it's time to turn them. And we won't have to oil those anymore. So that was about a teaspoon of olive oil that went onto those steaks.
And done.
And done. The next thing I want to do is I want to do my egg drop soup, but I'm realizing I don't have enough room in this pan too, so I'm going to go ahead and start a pan for the broccoli. The egg drop soup is really simple. We have a low sodium or unsalted chicken stock. I strongly recommend chicken stock and not broth. Broth is a flavor enhanced liquid. Stock actually has a lot more protein in it per serving than broth. It's made from bones. Collagen breaks down in the process. So this is stock. If you have a chicken at home and you want to just make your own,
stock, yeah.
It's super easy. I mean, don't overthink it. Put a chicken in water or the carcass in water, some carrots, some onions and whatnot, and have at it. Let it cook for an hour or so, and you've got chicken stock. So first we have to make a slurry. We have our warm chicken stock. We're going to bring that back up to a boil. And a slurry is one of those fancy chef terms that means I'm going to take a starch and I'm going to soften it up with water so it's ready to go into water.
To thicken.
To thicken. Otherwise this would just clump up and we'd have cornstarch dumplings.
Been there.
Me too. So you just take some cornstarch, about 2 tablespoons. About 2 tablespoons of water, equal amount. If you have a little bit more water, it's not going to matter. And the thing to remember about cornstarch is it's at its maximum thickening point when it comes to a boil.
Okay.
Okay? So we just pour that right in. And that's going to give us the texture we want for the soup. We want it thicker than liquid, or thicker than a water base, because we want to actually suspend our egg whites right in that liquid and create those beautiful ribbons of an egg drop soup. So we just give that a little minute to come back.
There we go.
And then our egg whites, you can do this with chopsticks, fork works just as good. This is 3 egg whites, and I just want to loosen those up a bit so we're not getting poached eggs, okay? So just mix it up, and then we'll turn our heat back down. You don't want this at a boil when you put the egg whites in, so we'll just pull it off heat a little bit. And what we want to do is actually stir it as we put those in. And it creates those beautiful ribbons. Kids love to see this happen. It's like you're Mr. Science. And if you really are in need of a lot of protein, double the eggs. You know, don't be afraid of that.
You just used the whites, though.
I just used the whites. I didn't use the yolks. This is literally, if you're using stock and you defat your stock, it's literally fat-free.
Nice.
And then this is our soup. So it takes 5 minutes to boil your
so quick.
Liquid. And then I also believe in the visual aspect of food is part of what makes it appealing and satisfying. Make sure I shut off the right one.
There you go.
So that one's done. And what we'll actually do is we'll bring this pan over, and I'm going to start my broccoli on that one.
Now, Curtis, we've been talking a lot about helping your wife through her nutritional needs while going through cancer treatment, but this really is about more than just that. It's about the next stage.
It is. You know, pink ribbon cooking is definitely, it's for everybody that's touched by breast cancer. It's something that you can give to a parent, a sister, a daughter, you know, whatever it is. But at the same point, you know, we're really focused on the prevention of that second cancer recurrence, because that's the fight most women have, and that's where strong data comes in that says diet hugely impacts the recurrence rate. So
the things that you're looking for are more fresh fruits and vegetables, lower fats. Lower fats,
high proteins, and a plant-based. If we pull that chicken salad over here,
okay, this is beautiful.
I use the glass bowl so we could see. Excuse me. This is 2 chicken breasts. It serves 4 people. There's a lot of celery, baked corn on the cob, and we're going to use a Greek yogurt blue cheese dressing, which we can go ahead and make.
Okay.
So if you want to go ahead and add the Greek yogurt to the blue cheese.
I can do that.
And then you can add all those ingredients right there, with the exception of all that salt. You don't want to add all that salt.
No. Okay, so what am I adding? This is like soy sauce?
That's Worcestershire sauce.
Oh, Worcestershire, okay.
Worcestershire and blue cheese is a natural combination.
Got some chives, looks like.
And then we've got some olive oil and some skim milk. And then we stir all that together. And that's dressing that serves 4 people. Depending on what you want to use it for, it can go to 8. And then we just want to mix some of that into here and stir that up.
Gotcha.
The next thing we want to do, we got a few recipes here. I've got a walnut sauce that I'm going to use. I've got walnuts, and it's going to be for our broccoli. 1/4 cup of olive oil, fresh squeezed orange juice, white wine or sherry vinegar, a little bit of honey, chives or chervil. Chervil's hard to get out of season, and some Dijon mustard. And I think I'm going to have to use a little water.
Wow, this is just packed with colors.
And it's plant-based. You know, if you look at that salad, that's 75% plant.
Fantastic.
So on our walnut, we just come in and we make a mess. This is a tool you can get for $9 at the drugstores. We just blend it till it's somewhat smooth.
That's great.
And then if we can go ahead and grab that bowl over there.
Gotcha.
Yeah. We'll go ahead, and this is our walnut sauce for our broccoli, our grilled broccoli.
Fantastic. And we should mention to folks, too, we're going to have all these recipes on our Across the Fence website. And how can viewers get more information about the pink ribbon cooking?
You can go right to pinkribboncooking.com. We have a very big section on cooking through chemo that's free to the public. And that's a big part of our mission, is kind of pay it forward. And you can also call me if you want. If you've got questions directly, you don't have a computer, that's 518-335-7880. That's my cell phone, so have at it.
Lovely. We're also going to have, of course, a graphic at the end of the program to let you know more about that. And also, too, Curtis, maybe you could just end by giving folks a little bit of information about nutrition in general. I mean, we've been talking about pink ribbon cooking, but this really is a lifestyle change and an important one.
It is. It's definitely about behavior modification. You have to know you have to know why you eat what you eat. Why do you crave certain things? And I think food that most people eat is like a cigarette. It's an addictive drug that pushes you out of balance until you go have that and you're back in balance, and then you go out of balance. I think processed carbohydrates are very much that way, and I try very hard to avoid those nowadays.
It's just a change of habit.
It is, but you know what? You eat cleaner. You eat much better food. It's more satisfying, and it's richer. And the whole family can enjoy all these recipes. There's nothing crazy here that kids won't eat, and it's a great way to incorporate, you know, a really healthy change in your life.
And also, too, easy to do because, obviously, I was helping you. I just had to stir, and you made it very easy.
And the last thing we do is we cut our steaks in half, and that's a portion. And we just got to make a salsa for that, which we have right here. A little bit of salt, cumin, chili powder.
Chef, I want to thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for all the work that you've done for a lot of different people and a lot of different reasons.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
All right.
So,
that's our program for today. I'm Judy Simpson. We'll see you again next time on Across the Fence.
For a video copy of today's program, call toll-free 1-888-ATF-3430. Across the Fence is brought to you as a public service by University of Vermont Extension and WCAX-TV.